Hello. Yes, that is the sound of a mega race on the Vic-20, but I'm not going to play it. I think I mentioned I really have to get around to assessing some monitors. So I have this set up, so I know I have a Vic-20 that works, I have sound that works, I have video that works, and I have a monitor. Oh, it's a heavy one. Oh, that I hope works. Hello, Penny. Penny is here. Penny, are you going to come up and say hi? Penny. Come on up, Penny. Come on up, Penny. Penny. Can I hold you, Penny? Now, remember. Hi, Penny. Hi, Penny. Hi, Penny. Penny never comes to say hi. But recently she has. This is the second time. But she doesn't. She likes to stand on chairs. And she likes to make herself known. But she's not big on being picked up. Isn't that right? Okay. Penny, we'll put you on the chair. You can just hang out with us. Okay, so here is, this is a 1701 monitor. Imagine that. Now, oh, excuse me. I need to get the cable in. So, I'm going to turn the Vic-20 off. I do know already. Ooh, I see. Okay. Ooh. Some of this extra cabling is a little long. Alright, so white and red, which is really black. Turn on. Oh. I hear things. I think it's actually a cat eating. Now, I am not concerned yet that I see nothing on this monitor because there are, of course, inputs from the front and the back, and I don't know into which position this is. Oh, lucky. All right. Ooh. All right. Well, look at that. Seems to be working. I wonder if there's sound. That's mighty strange. But, you know, things happen. I hear no sound. Let me just reset the Vic-20. Oh. And it seems to be happening in black and white. Let's see here. Huh. Well, this is interesting. I'm going to pull this out. This is the cable that goes over to the big screen. Because I have found in the past, at times, some things. Huh. Well, that is interesting. And the color is turned up. Yeah. In this thing, maybe it's not hearing a cat eating, maybe it is something strange. And I hear no sound, even though I know there was sound. This is mysterious. Let me just flip this switch in. Well, isn't that interesting? We have sound. What is all that from? Okay, so one thing. Now, I still don't think we have color on this. Actually, I'm pretty sure we don't. Let's try again. No color. Isn't that strange? Well, yes. So you know these monitors. First of all, as I was saying, this is a heavy one. There were two different, well, they weren't different models, but they were certainly different things. And definitely when you pick one up, the weight is noticeably different. It just is. So the switch on the back, which goes from the front to the back, can at times be, I guess, dirty inside, and it might need a little exercising. For example, this monitor had no sound. Now it seems from the front it didn't, from the back it did. Now it seems the sound in the front is working. We still do not have color. So what does that mean? What does that mean? I'm going to work this around. I'm shaking it around a bit. I'm going to take the sound out. I can put the sound in. Okay, so we still have sound. Let us pause for a moment and look for color. We have no color. I had hoped this would be a simple thing. All right, just a moment. The thing about monitors that is difficult at times is being able to see what you're doing. A mouse out here. Anyway, being able to see what you're doing and see what's going on. So, you know what? We don't need this right now. This is going to the big screen, and we're not. So, we have white, and we have black. And we're switched. Are we on? We're on. We're switched over to the back. Alright, so we still have black and white. Let's try it here. And so we have sound. Now remember, this is not the chroma and luma. So it does seem, at first try, hello, what's going on? Oh, that's weird. Maybe we have some loose connections inside. Okay, so we do have video again, but we do not have color. Well, that. And there are lots of controls on the front here. I'm just turning them all up in an effort to get color. Alright, no. And we do have sound. Oh, by the way, in back here, this is a picture off of the World of Commodore Facebook. I'm not sure if it's the event or the page or whatever, and I'm imagining from what I remember of the carpeting at the hotel where it's held that this was indeed taken there. I don't know whose table, I don't know what, but it has, well, I can't see the numbers perfectly. It certainly has a Super Pet, and the dual drives, no, I really can't read them either. Probably, I would suspect it's a 4040 and 18050, then on top there's a 2031. What's tucked around here looks like it could be a high profile 2031. Then of course we have an Apple disk drive. Who knows? And then probably down at the end are 1541s and some documentation. So yes, keep in mind, the World of Commodore is coming. Still black and white. It is coming December the 7th. So, a monochrome color monitor, November 2019, works. Switch. Needed. Rear switch, and maybe it still needs some more. I mean, this switch might not have been switched 30 years, who knows. Mono only so far. Audio works. Well, that is interesting, but that is why things must be tested. I'm going to put this over here. So I have more to test. So just you stand by, and before you know it, I'll be back here with another monitor. So as promised, I am back. And although it might look like the same monitor, it is not. This is, well, it's dirtier, it's dustier. It's also a 1702. And I have never weighed them, but I would estimate, or guesstimate, that this weighs about half as much as the one I just was testing. So, let's turn it on and see if there's anything to see. Alright, let's check the switch. Oh, I think I see some color there. These switches, it's funny, they all had sort of a middle position. And if you turn them just so, you can feel the middle position, which is not always where they need to be set. Okay, the sound is definitely down. Alright, it's time for some sound. Oh. Okay, that sound. Oh, well, it's sort of normalizing. Yep, that's the sound I hear when playing a Mega Race. That sound initially sounded not great. I'm wondering if there was, well, I mean, who knows? Just when this monitor was last turned on. Who knows? Let's just try this again for color. Oh yeah, it's got color. Although it's funny, it may need something called degaussing, because the top color, the F1 here, and the lower color are not the same. Not at all. Maybe. Ooh. I don't know if I want to do this or not. Oh. Cartridges are not the easiest thing to get out. Anyway, let's just turn it on with a regular big screen. Well, I mean, it looks okay, sort of. I do try and turn these things down because the iPad does sort of flip out of, well, it looks pretty fine. The iPad has a way of saying, oh, that's bright, and making everything else dark. So, of course, these two are both missing. Okay, there we go. So anyway, I do notice it's purple, it's red, it's purple, so it's a little different. Oh well. So, this one, it does seem to be working. It does seem to be fine. It is. Ugh, dusty. But, you know, these things happen. Let's just see if the sound sounds any different now. No, it's still... No, it cleared up quicker that time. But it had a buzziness to it. And I wonder if that just means that there's something that has settled on the speaker. Let's try that again. Alright, Amiga Race. Yeah, the sound is still funny when it starts. Oh, and now, not just when it starts. Still buzzy. November 2019 works. Sound. Color. Might need degaussing. Degaussing, it's funny, many years ago when I was on a CBC show, they got some little speaker because, see, on television, you can't just assume that a television has a speaker. You have to have another speaker that people can see and say, oh, that must be where the sound's coming out of. And of course they got this, I think it was called the Super Tweeter, and it had incredible magnetic powers about it, and of course it made the screen look all yucky. And then, of course, it didn't come back properly. Anyway, but we were able to use the little speaker to go around, and I think we went sort of the center and pulled back to get the colors back, I think. Anyway, dusty. All right, light on this one, because it is light. And of course the knobs are fine, but the door is missing. Well. It may be the speaker is blown. It may be, and that's kind of what it sounds like to me, it may be that there could be debris, because the speaker is on the top of the monitor, and if sand or who knows what fell in there, you never know. The one beautiful, magical, glorious thing about the 1701 and the 1702 of this styling was they are magically stackable. They are wicked. You know, the 1802 came out, and a lot of them yellowed horribly. I didn't like the picture quality. I didn't like it had a handle, but it just but these, they stack. And you know what? Amongst the television industry, they've sort of been around a long time, and I think they're still used, even to this day, here and there in some studios. They're just well, not that they never die, but they're quite reliable. They produce great pictures. They stack. What more could you want? Anyway, so right here, I still have the one from before, and right now there are 3 such monitors here. I, of course, have more, so stay tuned. I'll be back. Hello. So, I have a 4th monitor here. This is 1701. And it does work. Behold. The joystick is being leaned on. The reason I'm wearing these rather high-powered magnification glasses is that in the video plug in the front, something has broken off. So for all you people wondering out there, what is he talking about when something is jammed into the video port? Well, here is a close-up. This is what's happened in the video port. It's broken off. And yes, there have been efforts to get it out, not just by me. Anyway, the saga continues. I suspect in the midst of moving a game, or playing a game, or doing something or other, somebody pulled on the cable, twisted the cable, snapped the cable, did something. And now, this the internals of something like this are now stuck in there. And I have a little screwdriver. I have some little pliers and things. And I have been tinkering on this. And you know what I've got? Nothing. It's like it's probably 3 or 4 millimeters deep in there, and it does look like someone else has tried to get this thing out without success. I am thinking what I might need is kind of a miniature corkscrew, and I have seen such things. Basically, tiny little thing with threads that maybe I can stick in, reef on a bit to get where it's biting, and then pull out. Because you see, pliers like this, it looks good, but by the time you get it in there, it's already about the size of the hole, and there's nothing in here to sort of twist open. It's just flat. So whoever did this and whoever tried to get it out, first of all, they have sort of yanked or broken away some of the yellow on here. So I don't even know if this is going to work. Or like the receptacle, I don't know. But I can't get it out. I cannot. So, but the monitor, I suppose what I really need to do, and this would be, well, like it works. but only in monochrome. But then, of course, on a Vic-20, it doesn't have the separated video, so I suspect it works fine on the back. But if you remember, I have a cable that needs an 8-pin Commodore 64 to test. So perhaps this would be the time to see about getting that arrangement. Perhaps. Because I'm not going to get anywhere with this right now. I know somewhere I have what I speak of. But I don't know where. So, maybe I will see about connecting to the back and giving this a shot. So, stay tuned. Alright, so this monitor is working on a Commodore 64 with the cable that I had and have been using with the Vic-20 forever and ever and ever. So what should happen now is I should be able to take this out. This, it doesn't have Commodore markings on it, but this should be a Commodore cable. Kind of dirty. But it should be that if I put the white in the white, yellow in the yellow, and the red in the red, and flip this to rear, good, and then turn it over here, and gently rotate it upwards, and take this into the cable, and put it into the 8-pin video plug of the Commodore 64. And if all goes well, I should turn this on. I should turn it on, give it a moment, then turn this on, and it should be beautiful. Well, I can't say it's beautiful, but it's good. It's a little, as I say, find the sweet spot on all the things, and it should be good. So, this monitor does, oh, it even has the front panel. So this monitor works. Sure, put Centipede in here. Make sure it has sound. Okay, it has sound. So, we have color, we have sound, but this sucker here in the front is I've never seen anything like it. I have not. So, yes, I will have to see about extracting that. So what do we have, or what have we done so far? We've looked at 4 monitors. And it's funny thinking back on the mono ones. Maybe I need to try them again with the 64 or the mono one. Anyway, regardless, we have tested November 2019. Works. Front. Video. Port. Stuck. Full. Trying to think. Commodore. name plate cracked. But anyway, this would be a fine monitor for a Commodore 64. It would connect it to the back. Because for the moment, there is no way to connect to the front. So it is now November 2019. Tune in when I start taking this pile of monitors apart, probably several years, and maybe we'll see if I can get this thing out. I don't really want to have it take that long, though. I really do not. Alright, so enough of the monitors. Thank you for coming. As always, it's been a pleasure. Bye for now.